So, I don't know if anybody watched the UFC the other night. I was watching with some of my friends, and some of the guys were asking, what's the difference between a choke hold and a sleeper hold? So if you watch the fight, the women's championship match with Holly Holm, she had the sleeper hold applied to her, and if you watch the Conor McGregor fight, he had a choke hold applied to him. That's why Conor ended up tapping out almost instantly once Diaz applied that forearm across his throat. But Holly Holm probably had somewhere between 5 and 10 seconds as the sleeper hold was applied to her before she got knocked out. So let's go over the difference between these, and then we're going to go over the Wing Chun response, which is a little different from a sport response. So, what a sleeper hold is. If Tony's a big strong guy, he's taking some jiu-jitsu. The sleeper hold is when he has the V shape of his arm, and right here, if you get down just a little bit, you notice it's not on my trachea, my windpipe at all. But actually, I can feel it getting a little lightheaded here. But as he's applying it, it's cutting off circulation to my arteries right here, which obviously cuts off the circulation to my brain, which will cause the unconsciousness to happen. Now, it is painful, but it's kind of a tolerable pain. But if you were to really cinch that on me, I'd probably have around 3 to 5 seconds, maybe-ish, before I would probably be unconscious. And if he was a strong guy, if he really cranked it down and his adrenaline is flowing, I may have 1 or 2 seconds, just depending on the situation and how strong the opponent is who's able to do it. So maybe that's why Holly Holm was able to survive a little longer, because her opponent wasn't that strong, so it just took a little bit more time for it to kick in. Now, that's the sleeper hold. Now, the choke hold that was applied to Conor McGregor, completely different, because as the choke hold is now going to be using his forearm, and it's pressed against my trachea. Now, that is, it is extremely painful. It is almost instantaneously painful. And you could probably touch the trachea yourself and be like, yeah, it's a pretty tender area. So when you have a forearm that's placed against that, that's why Conor McGregor tapped in, like 1 second, 1.5 seconds. It is instantaneously a nightmare. So that's for sport fighting, all right? They couldn't really get out of that, because of the nature of the sports and the rules of which they were under. Now, in the God forbid situation that somebody is trying to apply that to you in a street fighting situation, and we'll just do stand up here, but ultimately stand up, or even if we were on the ground, the idea and the principles are still going to be the same. So let's just go with the sleeper hold first. So as he is going to attempt a sleeper hold on me, I have to be able to, understand where my center of gravity is. So as he's applying it, I may have to take him off his center of gravity the best that I can, whether it's ramming into the wall here, and if he's still attempting to apply it at this point, I have seconds. I can't. There's no way, unless I am physically stronger than him, which I probably am not, I'm not going to be able, especially if he has it locked on with his other hand here, I'm probably not going to be able to just open this up and give myself room to breathe. So I have to know where he's at. Now, through my Chi Sao training and my awareness of connection of self to person, I know where he's at, obviously. And I have to, within seconds, have to be able to find his weak points. Whether I reach back here and claw at his face and his eyes and try to find those as he's applying it, or I reach and try to grab his groin as he's applying it, I have seconds to do that before I'm going to be unconscious, and I'm going to be prison nightmare minimum that's going to happen. So you have to, maintain control of your center of gravity. Maintaining control of your center of gravity, you have to try to go with that force. He's a big guy here. If he's applying it, notice what happens to my body. I'm not just standing here. As he goes to apply it, I'm shifting backwards. I have to go with that force right away. As I'm doing that, I have to then be trying to claw, grab his face, poke his eyes out, whatever I can get my hands on to do that. And that has to be done instantaneously. Now, yes, it takes some time to develop the skill to do that, but that's why we practice and we train. Now, if he's doing the choke hold, I have even less time to do that. Now, when he's doing that choke hold and I'm here, I don't want to think again, I'm grabbing here, because why do we take martial arts? Because I have to learn to control myself
And I have to learn to deal with stronger forces acting in my body. If I'm stronger than him, I could probably just muscle my way out of this and do something like that because I'm stronger than him. But if I'm not, it's the same thing. As he's trying to apply here, I have to go with it instantaneously. And I just grab the first weakest point that I can. Here I grab the groin. Here I may have to, again, go back up, try to claw his eyes out. But that's the difference between street survival and sport fighting. Obviously in sport fighting, they can't do those tactics because of the rules of the game. No big deal. That's just the rules they have to play under. But remember, in the street, there are no rules, and you have to act instantaneously. You can't wait for the person to say, oh, they have the chokehold on me. If you don't act instantaneously when that happens, control your center, awareness of where the target is, it's nightmare time. All right, any questions on it?
No, not for me.
All right, good luck.